All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone for your patience. Evie's in a mood. She wants to play. She has been played with, and she is a little bit cranky that I'm doing anything but give her attention, but I think we may have finally gotten her settled for a nap. I hope sometimes if I put her on my bed and tell her to go to sleep, she will. So I hope we're gonna have that instead of Abby wailing in the background, but she may still decide to scream. So if that happens, I'm sorry. It is always time for Evelyn, and God forbid anyone dispute that fact ever. Anyway, oh my goodness, Phil is a great cat name. Yeah, that is excellent. All right, what has been happening here? I think we're doing pretty good. Nobody's still sick. I think everything's about fine. I think we just needed to rest until evening. We are going to go back to the cattle ranch and get the calf, right? We had a calf. At least your cat understands how to ask for attention. Yours just stands there and assumes you'll know what to do. Yeah, he really does. I've met Rain's cat and I can attest to this. He will just stand and look and just give you the saddest expression. And it's like, sir, what do you want? Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Hey, thank you for the resub, Genesty. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to remember where we left off. I think we just needed to go back to the ranch when night fell, right? I think that's where we left off. The territory's looking okay. Can we still feed these guys a little bit? What am I doing? Oh my gosh, what it is I have played so much Ark these past few days. So if you guys saw the Ark episode that I put out, if you haven't, it's been a time, but I am so used to the Ark keyboard controls now. and E is like the inventory, but it's emotes here, so if you see me doing this, it's because I've been playing too much Ark. Uh-oh. Problems. I see problems. Ghost, so help me hurry. Alright, I think we've got everybody in the den pretty much. Ghost, make haste. Oh, thanks for the resub. I like Minecraft gaming. Hey, Subversary. Get out. Who are you? Lost River 54M. Get out. Did you? No, we do share a border with you. I was gonna say, if Lucky Pack ever shows up, I'm gonna lose my mind. I've had that kind of thing happen before, but kind of just depends. Eat those wolves indeed. But yeah, wow, a year and then 6 months too. We've had some of y'all have been around for a while here. Did get recording started. Alright. Let these guys finish. I'm gonna sleep again, and then I think what it was is we had to sneak back into the ranch because we had a calf there. What will attack next is the current current prediction, so we will have to see. We just had stranger wolves. Have we had a lot? We've had one or two bear attacks. I've had a couple of personal runs at this den where it was just bear attack, so this den scares me a little bit. But I think we're good. Oh yeah, that's right, we have dogs as an option as well. Yeah, I still don't think we've ever seen the dog attacks on this channel yet, or on Twitch or on YouTube. I've encountered them in personal playthroughs, but I don't think we've ever seen them on a recorded one yet. So that's a little bit wild. Alright, oh, we were injured, I guess, or somebody was. Nighttime. We had a leg injury. I forgot we had a leg injury. Alright. Why don't y'all go back in the den here? Hello? Haze and Journey? Make haste? Thank you. Very confident about coyotes. Oh, we'll see. We'll have to see. Alright, Gail, let's go back to the ranch, because I seem to recall that we had made a kill and then not been able to eat it. Yeah, Pinecone came and bothered us, didn't he? I think that's where we left off, and if not, I'm gonna be very, very sad and feel very silly. But my memory is pretty insistent on that point this time. It's one of the reasons you do controller and WolfQuest is less likely to confuse your brain. That is very fair. I still struggle to get used to... Elk herd? Hello? The phantom herd returns when we're not looking for them. Is this the gold herd? Sense blowing away. Gold herd? Gold herd. Oh, they're gonna trample me. Okay. No, I didn't actually want to upset them. Wait, oh, there's Gale. Okay, Gale is here. But yeah, we were talking about controllers. That is fair. I just don't... I don't have the muscle memory for controllers. It's very hard for me to get used to where the buttons are. I don't have any instincts for it because I just haven't done it very often. So, oh my goodness, 2% cougar versus 98% coyotes. Well, good luck to everyone. Somebody might win very, very big if cougar attacks. Intense pull, indeed. Oh, we're close to a hype train too, apparently. It's been a little bit since we've seen one of those. We've had a few of them though, so thank you guys very much for that we've had a few of those pop up. Oh. I was like, what am I hearing? I think I'm hearing noises. Y'all hear what I'm hearing? Some spooky heckin' music. Yeah, there's some scary music. I don't know if the thing is gonna be down here. Yeah, this music is like genuinely kind of scary music. Like, I like metal, but it has like the creepy whisperings in it too. I think I would be a little unnerved by this if I heard it blaring somewhere too. But I don't think Ezra's gonna be given too much pause by it. I do really like to. I'm gonna nerd out about game design a little bit here because I really love the way that they designed the ranch, because the interesting thing about it is, you know, you're dealing with people who are playing as wolves, so real wolves would probably very likely be immediately deterred by something like this, or maybe eventually acclimate to it. But, you know, as a player, you know, you're dealing with people who are like, oh, hey, metal music, cool. So trying to convey that these are deterrents and telegraph that in a meaningful way in game is a challenge. And I think they did really well with that, with having some of the deterrents you'll see will, you know, give you a little pop-up, you're scared of this, but then it's not like obnoxiously persistent about it. And so it still conveys that this is something that wolves probably would be kind of scared by. Here we go. Without having to, like, take gameplay control away from the player, which is something you generally don't want to be doing in a game. So I think I'm nerding out about game design a little bit. I think they did a really good job with balancing that, because ultimately it's going to be up to the player to decide how to react. Did Gale follow us? Oh, she took a second to get through the fence. It's going to be up to the player how to respond. It's a very roleplay-ish kind of thing, but in my opinion, it's a very good way of balancing it, because it still kind of hints to you that, oh, hey, this is a scary, unknown thing, do with that as you will, and a lot of players are going to probably persist. Yeah, see, we just got there. I don't think we got a pop-up or anything this time. Sometimes I think you get, for some of them, I think you get a pop-up. Oh my goodness. This does make it kind of hard to think, and I don't remember where we left the calf. Was it over here? Was it over here somewhere? Goodness. Oh, it's over here. Alright. Serving its purpose, because I can't, I can't think straight. Yeah, it is, and like, I think it's this song in particular is very fitting for what they're trying to achieve here. Of it being something that's very unsettling and unnerving. I think they got one that had a good vibe for it. The one hex in no man's land between Lucky and Van Winkle, you're right. Nobody owns that hex. They must be fighting over it. Yeah, like, again, I know I'm a little bit biased, but I have so much respect for the way that WolfQuest has approached a very difficult game design to achieve, because trying to juggle realism and gameplay, you know, a lot of things that are realistic are not fun, I guess. When you think about realistically, how do you handle that wolves spend a large portion of the day sleeping? That's not fun gameplay, but WolfQuest found a way to balance that fairly well with the sleep meter, and then sleeping is not generally a lengthy process. You know, you sleep fairly quickly, and then time just passes at an accelerated rate while you're sleeping. So that's a difficult system to try to design around, but I think they did a really good job of it. Or the hunting system, they made it interesting with overly gamifying it. Like, there's just so many examples of the way that they've done this, especially in WolfQuest 3, but honestly, even in the earlier games, they did good for what they had at the time. And I really admire their commitment to staying realistic as best they can while not making it dry. I think they did a really good job with that. And like, I know I shill for this game quite a lot. I know I'm a little bit biased because this is one of the main games that I play, but there's a reason for that, y'all. This is genuinely a game that I grew up admiring, and it's been incredible to see it get expanded into what we have now with WolfQuest 3. They've really done a very good job of it, and I think, honestly, I don't know of an animal simulator that's better than WolfQuest. I think WolfQuest is pretty much the gold standard for animal simulators, in my book. And I think they've really revolutionized the genre, too, because we've seen a lot of animal simulators. We've seen more animal simulators start to come out lately. I think WolfQuest has probably played a role in making people realize that this is actually something that there's interest in. Hello again, random elk herd. You think about it, this game has an incredibly large scope. Most indie game studios do not have the resource for a game like this. No, they really don't. And like, honestly, this is... the fact that this even happened is kind of one of those 1 in a million things. Because of the way that WolfQuest got its origins, originally way back when, it was like sponsored by the Minnesota Zoo, if I remember correctly. It was an educational game that was supported by educational places, and that was kind of how it got its first reach. So the fact that it was able to get an audience from that, I really think is a huge part of why it was able to continue into WolfQuest 3 the way that it was, because people found out about the game, it gained a loyal following from that, and that following now carried it into becoming something that can stand on its own. And, you know, of course the devs too have stayed very passionate about the game this whole time, and I have a huge amount of respect for that. I think it's a situation that you rarely, if ever, see, so the fact that the game has continued in this way is really incredible, and it's really been amazing to see. You grew up with 2.7, now you have WolfQuest 3 and feel spoiled, right? I feel that, because I, originally, when I was playing it as a kid, I was playing on, like, it was honestly 1.0 and 2.5, even before 2.7. Those older versions, they're not bad, but they're not to the standard of what we've come to expect of games nowadays. They're much more limited in scope. Again, I still hold to the fact that they're really good for their time, but, you know, they've gone above and beyond with WolfQuest 3. So it's all around just been an incredible story to witness, and even to have the pleasure of being a part of in some ways. I'm very grateful that this game is still around in the way that it is, and I know this would have absolutely blown my mind as a kid if this was the version that I'd grown up with. So it's really neat to see what it's become, because anyone who is growing up now the way that I did back then has a real treat in store for them here. I think we're gonna go ahead and sleep. Getting to be about time to do that. There's Ghost. It's snowing too. It's been snowing a lot in real life. We are getting a big winter storm all through the Midwest right now, which hopefully will not disrupt us here. I don't know, they said there could be power outages, but it hasn't seemed bad enough for that just yet, so... Prior games had a smaller scope, which is appropriate for the resources they had exactly. Resources and even just technological limitations. Okay. Probably ought to send the pups back in the den here and go deal with that before the territory worsens. If they try to make this version, it would have spent years and years in development, the funding would have immediately dried up. Yeah, especially considering that this is a beefy game, even by today's standards. But trying to do this with the technological limitations of the time would have required even more resources, let alone, you know, let alone just the scope of it all. Like, it would have been impossible in the day that they started out. I genuinely think so. The closest thing that we had to this back then was Wolf, which is a game that's older than me, and is also an incredibly done game. Ironically, the two of the top of the line animal simulators out there are both Wolf simulators, but that I think was probably the most ambitious game that we had at the time in that vein that I'm aware of. Well, and Lion, but I've never successfully been able to play Lion. I don't know why, it just will not work for me. But that one was even more limited, considering the day and age that it came from was way more limited. And I'd love to see, like, a spirit successor to that one, too. There have been people who've tried to make them, but I don't think any of them have ever actually ended up finishing. But I would love to see, like, a spirit successor come out to that one, considering that it's a slightly different genre of or slightly different variant of the simulator genre, but also a phenomenal game for what it was. But it was also bound by the limitations of its time, so it's kind of amazing. You recently watched a video about a very large scope Kickstarter game gone horribly wrong, so this has been on your mind. Yeah, well, that's something that I always, like... I struggle with that, because I kind of see both sides of that from a creative perspective. I think a lot of these situations where devs get a lot of hate is... I don't necessarily want to say entirely unwarranted, but, like, I've been witness to a few situations where I feel like the hate was misunderstood or misattributed, because I think in a lot of cases devs do genuinely have good intentions and are just really bad at at understanding the scale of a project. And that's honestly, like, that understanding the scale of a project and accomplishing it technically are two different skill sets. So you can be really skilled on the technical side and not know how to plan. And that's something that I have struggled with my YouTube channel. Is I'm pretty decent at the creative side, I like to think, but I don't know squat about business. I am very bad with the business perspective. And actually Rain is a lot better with that, which is why I'm so thankful that she's helped me out with some things, because I don't understand the business side of it very, very well at all. I'm really bad at making good business decisions, and that's an equally important part of it. And so when you have indie teams, the smaller the team, the more likely it is that you have one person trying to make decisions, not all of which they may be very good at. And I think that can really lead to a lot of these situations where someone has genuinely good intentions, but they're way out of their depth and they don't realize it until it's way too late. And I think that has given a bad reputation to games. It's not entirely unfair, because if somebody's not promising what they delivered, that's still an issue, or somebody's not delivering what they promised, it still is an issue, but I think it's a different issue than what most people assume it is. I think a lot of people assume, oh, greed, and usually I think it's probably not. To be perfectly honest, like, I'm sure that there have been cases where it has, but I think there's probably a lot more of genuine intentions that have gone awry. And, like, I've even seen this, like, if you follow my Minecraft modding, I have been in development heck with that for years, because I just, there are periods in my life where it's really hard for me to work on that, and I'm a very slow coder, and I keep having outside things happen, like Minecraft changing versions, and that has had an impact on my work. And, you know, I'm not trying to fail at delivering what I have promised, but it takes me a heck of a long time to get there. And so when you apply that to a broader scale with a huge amount of funding and people actually, I'm one person. I can work on my own time, whether I get paid for it or not. I can do it as a free time thing if I want to, but when you have an actual team that has to be paid, it gets a lot more messy and a lot more complicated when things don't happen on schedule. So, I think that that's I think that that's something that happens here too. The video you watched was about a dev team of 15 promising an MMO where every quest was unique. You could own digital property, run businesses, kingdoms. You grow old and die, and that wasn't going to happen. That's fair as well. So that's way out of scope as well. They constantly sold packages that promised digital property and raised $8 million of the years. Now the game is canceled without a single demo made public. I feel like I did see that. So that is one of the situations where I think it gets muddier as well. Because it can be hard to tell, especially when it goes to that scale, how much of that would be good intentions, very poor understanding of what it would actually take to bring that to life, versus just not being very responsible. and you know, it's hard to know sometimes, but that's definitely an unrealistic scope. And again, like Rain just said, you need to be wise about what project you support. So you want to be making sure that if you're gonna support, you're putting your money towards something that has a realistic scale, because that's, you know, sometimes when you're looking at it, you can tell a little bit more if something's ambitious. It might be too ambitious. You watch a YouTuber deep dives into failed games and confirm a lot of times good intention ruined by grand plans, yeah. And so, like, there's judgment calls that need to be made on both sides, and that's not to victim blame and say that people who supported, you know, oh, they should have known better, but I think there's wisdom on both sides, and especially when good intentions and grand plans get mixed up on both ends, it can go very badly very fast. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, the Lost River map is very, very beautiful as well. I still think they did a phenomenal job with the new map and how expansive it is. It's actually bigger than the Yellowstone maps, I'm pretty sure. They did an incredible job with it, really. Oh, we should go back to the ranch as well. Probably tonight, yeah, because I think we can. The only game we backed on Kickstarter is Cattails 2. Yeah, that's valid. I've backed a few of them. I think most of them have delivered. Yeah, I don't think I've had a Kickstarter that I felt went poorly that I participated in, but yeah, a lot of people have. It happens. And I think even Kickstarter themselves says that, you know, I think they have a little disclaimer about you need to be careful because it's not theirs to enforce. Hey! What did I tell you? Bear time. Has Gale already found it? No, Gale's keeping watch. Where is this hecker? Did nobody vote? Did nobody vote bears? Yeah, also sorry about the soapbox again. This is an interesting topic. It's one that I feel like I've had a bit of a personal stake in here. There's the hecker. Get out. Go home. Be gone. No puppies for you to eat here. They're all in the den. They're behaving themselves. Gale's gonna bite your butt if you don't stop. I'll probably join her if you keep this up. Also, people often ask me why I don't bite the bears very often. People are like, Jay, why don't you bite the bears? I'm like, because normally they're easier to intimidate by growling. And it's safer to intimidate them by growling. The problem is the mate doesn't always apply that line of logic, and so then that's why the mate can get more injured in these fights. Because what you really don't want to do is take a charge attack from the bear up close. That can just one-shot you unaccurate. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. That's why I fight bears in the manner that I do. It's just a little bit different than what the AI expects. And yeah, it's safer to support projects by devs that have had experience. So, you know, Cattails 2, the devs did really well with Cattails 1. They already showed that they could handle that well. So it can be a little bit safer to support. That's not to say you shouldn't support someone who's got a first hobby. You need to be looking at what their goals are and how reasonable it seems for them to achieve that. You wish the WolfQuest devs would do more maps at different national parks, even if they're DLC once you buy them. That would be really cool. Like, it would be neat to see Either that or, like, wolves around the world. Maybe both. Like, you know, there's different kinds of wolves. There's Mexican wolves. There's Arctic wolves. You could very easily take this game and branch out into doing different ecosystems. And not gonna lie, I kind of hope that they do once they're finished with, like, the main game loop and Yellowstone. If they need to keep... If they want to keep producing content for WolfQuest, I really hope that they branch out into something like that. Now, I don't know. We'll see what their long-term plans end up being, but I absolutely agree. I think that'd be really, really cool. And, you know, you think if you do, like, Arctic wolves or Mexican wolves, you could easily do different colored coats or different builds or something like that. There's just a lot of possibilities that'd be really fun with something like that. So I really hope that we get to see them do something along those lines at some point. Yeah. The mates can be a little bit more aggressive with that. All right, here we go. Here is the, I'm gonna answer a couple questions, or a couple messages here really fast before we go in the ranch. Yeah, we're talking about a Kickstarter game that failed, and how a lot of the times, unfortunately, for as much as I love the accessibility that Kickstarter and crowdfunding has given to indie games, it still opens itself up. Like, it's one of those two-edged swords, because it can still open itself up to going really badly, even though all around, I think, overall, it's a very, very good thing. Where's the wind direction? I want to know where the wind direction is. Or even extinct wolves. Dire wolves would be so cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would slap. Alright, where's my wind direction? Okay, it's over here. Now where's Pinecone? Pinecone's over there. Alright, I think... Nope, that's a whole cow. Never mind. Did not see that whole cow. Is Pinecone? Pinecone's far enough away, I think. Maybe? I hope. Please don't notice. No, dang it. Alright, eat quickly. Eat quickly and run. Get out of here, stinker. Get out of here, you stinker. Alright. Don't want to get greedy, though. Alright, Gale, move it. We can come back. We can come back. Okay. Yeah, I don't heck around once Pinecone shows up is kind of my thing. Alright, oh, no, there's the exit. I went back to the other one on instinct. Okay, that's not good. Alright, that's why I don't heck around. That is why I don't heck around. Oi! Gale, are you out of there? Okay, she's good. Super tiny prediction. Oh. Uh-oh. It got delayed there. It'd be fun to see set way in the past when red wolves weren't endangered, for example. That's also a really cool idea. Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways that they could expand WolfQuest if they want to continue working on it. Like, I don't know if they'll stick with WolfQuest once they get the game to a much larger state, like the more complete with Saga and all of that, and Towerfall and such. I don't know if they'll stick with WolfQuest or if they'll want to move on to a new project. I genuinely don't know. We'll see. It feels like they've been working on WolfQuest for forever. It's been like 15 years, but we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing, if they end up having a different project or if they end up continuing to develop and expand WolfQuest. I don't know what a completed state for WolfQuest would look like. I guess we'll have to find out if they intend to continue it long into the future or not. We'll just have to see what happens, because we're in entirely uncharted territory now. Hello? Well, don't mind if I do. I guess we'll have a snack on the way back. We didn't quite get to finish eating, so may as well. But yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of room for them to be able to continue on with WolfQuest if they do end up continuing it long into the future. There's a lot of places that they could take this game once they're finished with the main loop. There's a lot of cool things once they're finished with the beginning here. Gale is stuck in the river. No! Alright. I have a feeling the Saga is coming out this year. I hope so. We'll see what ends up happening. Again, they haven't announced dates or anything in particular for that. It definitely... We've seen them making a lot of progress toward it. I guess is kind of the way that I see it. So we know that it's closer than it was. I wouldn't be surprised if it was this year because there's a lot left in the year, but it also kind of depends on what else they're doing. So we'll see. I don't want to make any predictions yet, but it would definitely be really neat to see it this year. Honestly, for Nostalgia Cami, when it comes to if there's anything you need to be wary of, just concerned in the mention of similar to the company or court case against them. I mean, I don't know specific cases. It's really just one of those things that you want to do your research on whatever company you're looking to support from. This is kind of back on the Kickstarter topic. Mostly just do your research about anyone in particular, find out if there is a past history of failed games or whatnot. Just be informed. Be informed is kind of just the general rule, I think. You're wondering how much of the Lost River lore you missed. There's probably a lot. I haven't even seen all of it. I know there's a lot of things that I haven't encountered yet. I hope we'll find them eventually through exploring it. Yeah, so mostly you just kind of want to be looking at, like, you know, a track record. And I guess to a degree, to, like, what we were talking about last time with past failures don't always indicate present ones, so it is possible for somebody to come back a second time and do better. That can apply to companies too, but it's something to be aware of, that you may be taking an extra risk if there is, like, a significant incident where somebody promised and didn't deliver. It may not be the case a second time, but it's good to be aware of. So that's kind of just my reasoning on the whole matter here. You just want to be more careful than you would be with... You know, I guess I would say on a scale of very careful to probably okay, an established company that has a good track record of continuing to put out titles would be probably okay. A first-time company would be kind of in the middle, like if this is their first endeavor, but it seems like a reasonable one. And a company that has had issues in the past, you probably want to be a lot more cautious of. And, you know, hope for the best. Hope that they do better this time around, but weigh that a little bit extra carefully. Ghost has taken the shoe far away from the den. Okay. I guess that's kind of just what my 2 cents on the matter are. You know, make sure the Kickstarter's scope and capabilities line up. The experience of the crew working on the project is good to keep in mind, as well as how much they're asking for, what stretch goals are providing. Yeah, exactly. A new game mode that would be nice is territory mode, mostly for the or no territory mode, mostly for the role player to explore all the land that's hard to explore because of pack attacks. I doubt they would add it. It would be cool if they did something like that in multiplayer. I think that would be cool for multiplayer. Maybe less for single player, but for multiplayer, definitely that would be a neat feature. Oi! Wait a second. When did that territory get stolen? Oi! Yeah, the dreams in Lost River are wild, and it's so funny. Who is yip-yapping? Yeah, you yip-yap your way over here, you're not gonna be yip-yapping your way back out. It was weak and then it got taken over. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, we're gonna go steal it back. These guys are pretty close. Let's go back in the den. No attacks, it looks like. Probably. Random thoughts from seeing one of those dream images. What if wolves could hunt waterfall? Does that happen anywhere IRL? Gale? Yeah, oh, Gale's right here. Hello. I don't know. I would imagine that it probably could under the right circumstances, but I don't know if it happens with significant frequency enough for it to be added. I know there are some wolves in some places that fish, so that'd be neat if there was like DLCs or expansions specific to areas where stuff like that happens, like the wolves that do fish more often. I know that's something that's a lot of people have wanted to see added to Yellowstone, and it doesn't really happen that much in Yellowstone, but maybe if they ever did an expansion in an area where it happened, it would be neat to see. But I don't know about waterfowl. Gale blended in. Gale did blend in quite a lot. Did you get the wolf riding the cougar dream yet? What? No, I've not noticed that one yet. I've seen a lot of clown ones. I've seen one with, I think it's pine cones stacked on Floppy or something like that. Like riding around on Floppy's back. Something like that, I think. Ooh, that's a neat backstory. First two rules to get the clown dreams. They're all clowns, what can I say? It comes naturally to them. Alright. Ezra would so go down a slide if he could. He absolutely would. We're allowed to climb. I think there's a slide in town, but we're not allowed to climb it. But that's really neat backstory to have a wolf that is from the fishing background. I bet she likes it when the eagles drop fish. Oh yeah, I think that might actually be something in game, if I remember correctly. That might be in reference to something that's in the game. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil things. The game allows you to climb a small portion of the little roller coaster. Man, I wish you could climb more. Hello, I need to go back and do that at some point. I don't even know that I realized that. Yes, we actually did go into the mine a little bit. With Ezra starting out in his first episode, we went in the mine and poked around a little bit. It's a really neat little cave. I would love to do more with it, but it's not the most conducive for YouTube, unfortunately. It's really hard to see when if you don't have the lantern, or even when you do have the lantern. But it was neat to poke around. Oh no, she loved when the eagles dropped fish, but she never found any to eat. Rip. I'm glad she made it all the way to age 8, though. Oh yeah, that was when Ella joined. It was like, why is this scary? I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You joined during the most frightening part of WolfQuest. You did a litter on multiplayer where we all lived in the cave. I've done in single player trying to live in the cave, and it's kind of it's interesting. Definitely not intended behavior, but interesting. I would do a challenge like that's kind of what I'm talking about. I would do a challenge like that on YouTube because I think it'd be interesting, but the editing, you would not be able to see anything. It would be the worst. We still need the achievement for finding drop fish on single player. Oh no. We found him a few times. We bumped into him on occasion. You really want to look in the cave, but you couldn't find it. It's like, if you don't want spoilers, click away for a little bit. It's right down here by Temple Rocks, pretty much. Be fun to combine with a blind wolf challenge. Ooh. Blind wolf challenge would be interesting. I don't really know how I do that, like having to stay in scent view, maybe? It's one of those things that would be mechanically interesting but visually challenging, I guess, for a series. But definitely a fascinating idea. Eagles continue to attack because they think the pups are still outside. Oh no. Yeah, I bet that confuses the heck out of the eagles. Played a blind wolf once in 2.7 and stayed in scent view. That's really cool. I know Lynx did a deaf wolf challenge once where she played without music, and I feel like that would be really hard because the musical cues in this game are quite a lot. It is way harder to notice things without the music. Other than that, the AI is pretty fine. That's good. Yeah, I don't know if I saw the whole thing, but I know I saw some of it, and it seemed interesting. As challenge to stay in scent view is one of those things that poses technical challenges for YouTube because it really, watching it would be really hard, would be the only downside of it. It's such a cool idea, but it would... Journey! Sir! I was gonna say, it would be a challenge to pull off in a way that's still gonna work well as a video. Because that's the difficulty with visual medium is, it's visual. Journey is living up to his name. No kidding. Dead Wolf Challenge. Oh my goodness. Alright, is everybody good? Everybody's good on food, I think. Let's just howl a little bit and then we'll sleep. I ought to go back to the ranch tonight, and maybe to our carcass as well. The zombie pup returns. Oh gosh, I remember the zombie pup bug. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it would be a funny challenge, although I don't know how it would work. All right, let's sleep. Almost baby season. Waiting for nighttime. Almost here. Try to die in every possible. Yeah, that would be an interesting challenge to try to die in every possible way. All right. Minor injury healed. What's gonna attack us? Really? No attacks? Amazing. Oh, we're gonna have to mark territory too. All right. Really quickly. Okay, I think what I'll do. Let's go back. We'll get food. Honestly, it might be more economical to just go back here. No attacks. Yep, nothing. Very, very odd. I'm not used to it being this peaceful. But okay then, I guess. Think I'm gonna run down here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run down here. I guess we'll look at this carcass too. Did Gail, ma'am, I whined at you. Why you no follow? When it gets peaceful in your gameplays, you're always on edge. Yep. All right, let's see. Yeah, I feel that though. Over here. Yeah, I guess I may as well eat. I guess we'll just eat this tonight. I want to make sure that Gail gets food because I'm going to leave her back with the pups, I think. And then, we should be able to go mark territory. You enjoy it? Yeah, you don't? Yeah, you kind of feel... Then you start feeling like something's going to jump out at you at any possible second. And that gets a little bit nerve-wracking. Yep, something will be there eventually. I always get so jumpy when I'm staying back with a sick pup. Because I feel like I can't predict when it's going to show up. It's just going to be something there suddenly. That's why I don't always stay back with the pups very often. Wait, 115. Oh, she's just going to eat meat chunk. Alright, she's going to eat a little bit more. Make sure she's all the way full on food. You good? Alright, why don't you go back? Going back home? She's going back home. And we will go right over here. I think there's another area that's gonna need to be marked. Down at the bottom, but that'll probably be... We can do that in the morning here. Don't have to worry too much about it right now. Here we go. And we'll put the territory here. Ooh, once your game crashed right after an eagle attack and one of the pups got lost, safe to say you moved the pups back in the den before it happened again. Yeah, that's wise. Yeah, definitely very wise. I often will spot the eagles coming, but not always. I have to keep a careful eye out for them though, because I get jumpy. Oh, that's the world border. Cease this. Let me go mark the territory, please. Cease this. I want to mark the territory. I think I can run due north, right? Hello, moose. Goodbye, moose. Stay away from me, moose. At least you got practice with the eagles. Yeah. The eagles, I struggle with them a lot. Like, I don't know why they're so difficult. But they're like an extra challenge for some reason. Are we in the... We are in the hex. You always think you see an eagle and some of the pups in the den, but it ends up being coyotes or something. That's also happened to me before. But yeah, the eagles are very challenging because it's just hard to see where they're going. I know they recommend head cam, but honestly, I don't like head cam. If I can see their shadow, then I prefer to follow their shadow and try to counter them that way. Best advice is stay calm and follow the shadow. Yeah, exactly. If you can find the shadow, then that's a little bit more reliable in my opinion. But unfortunately, if it's like cloudy or such night, you don't always have the shadow to follow. That's when things get a little bit sketchy. There we go. Where is this SemPost? SemPost here. SemPost here. You do like head cam? I have a hard time with it because I usually trip over a rock or something. For a little bit, there wasn't a controller button for head cam, just sent view. What? Oh, I didn't know that. You lose track of it otherwise. You're not in head cam. Huh. I can't always track it even with head cam. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Alright. Stuck on rock. Alright, I'm gonna go back, sleep once, and then we will, Is it my den? That is my den behind there, okay. It's like exactly behind the carcass symbol. Alright, let's go down here. I think you've single-handedly contributed at least 3 fixes to controller stuff. That's fair. I don't know what to recommend for controller stuff because I'm just not used to playing it. I know a lot of people are, but yeah, this is a good example of why it's important to send in feedback if you're struggling with something because, like, I think a lot of the time it's just not... It's something people just genuinely don't know if they don't play it with controller, because I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know controller controls are not great because I never have to use them. Did it get a lot work with the emote wheel when they optimize things for Steam Deck? Oh, valid. Alright. What in the heck? What in the heck? Ghost! Sir! Where are you going? Hayes, you too. This is not good. Why is everything happen all at once? Hayes, where did you go? Hayes, ma'am. Don't you go in the waterfall. What are you doing? Ghost, why are you gone again? No, what is happening? I'm gonna send you all in the den for the night if you do not frickin' behave. Why? Why are you like this? Cease. Cease this at once, Gale. Yeah, Gale went to go see what was happening too. Alright. Y'all gremlins are gonna be sleeping in the den for the night. If one more of you wanders off, Hayes, I swear to goodness. Oh my word. Alright. I'm sleeping now before more chaos ensues. You prefer not to use the emote wheel for controller. It takes a valuable time during predator attacks. That's fine. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you can howl, and sometimes the lost pup will howl back. That's right as well. What we get for no pup predators. Yeah, the pups are enough threat to their own selves. Hayes, you're grounded. All of them are gonna be at this rate. Goodness gracious. What in the heck? Alright. Everybody's fine on food, but the territory is decaying. Back in the den, you gremlins. Hello? Let me woof. Oh, Gale is feeding them. It's fine. We have plenty of food. Back in the den, y'all. Y'all gremlins. Alright, Gale, let's go get food. We're gonna mark territory. Maybe we shouldn't leave Gale alone with the pups. I think they might be a bit much for one parent to handle at a time. You wish you knew it sooner because you lost the pup to a coyote because you're trying to find him and they were biting you, so you dropped the pup. Oh no! That's not good. Yeah, coyotes are jerks. Oh, you think you're gonna take her carcass? You can get out. Did you eat the whole thing? Well, most of it. Alright, we'll let Gale have what's left here. Oh yeah, luckily it was a multiplayer pup. Yeah. That is fair. Oh. Alright. Oh no, the carcass is still there. There's a teeny bit left on the carcass. How full on food? Oh yeah, Gale will be fine. She will just be fine. Alright. Are you done? Can you head back to watch the pups? I am gonna send her back to watch the pups, I think, because we could be gone for a while here. I just hope they behave themselves for her, because goodness gracious, that was some chaos. You get to lose a pup to anything but illness. Nice. We lost a few to predator attacks, but now it's mostly illness and eagles. Oh, well, welcome, Forrest. Thank you for joining us. No worries, though. It happens. Twitch is sometimes a little bit of a pain with notifications, too. Alright, did we passed the scent post. Okay. There's the scent post. We're gonna go back for it. Yeah, usually for me it's illness and eagles. It's pretty rare. I think I've had a few cases. I lost a pup to a cougar in multiplayer recently because it came out of nowhere, rushed the den when I had no stamina. I was the only one back at the den. So that was unfortunate. There was not a lot I could do about that situation. That's why we always sleep on time, and that's harder to achieve in multiplayer. You lost pup to eagles, a few coyotes, no bears or cougars yet, though. Yeah, usually bears and cougars are... Well, bears are more a threat to you, it feels like. Cougars are not generally that awful, but sometimes when they rush, it can be really scary. And the coyotes, well, we had one really early loss with Peregrine, but other than that, it's been a while, but the one with Pyrrha still remains the scariest incident I've ever had with coyotes. I've never seen them do that before, since they really just showed up out of nowhere immediately without warning. There was not a lot of time to even step in because they were just right there all of a sudden. Recently there was a wolf attack. I'm not going to the ranch. Cease this. Recently there was a wolf attack. You moved the pups into the den, and your mate you went and killed one of the wolves, but you didn't realize one of the pups who had just recovered from sickness hadn't gone in the den until a coyote attack got rid of that pup. No! Aw, rip. Alright, the scent post is here, I think. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You don't like bears since one killed your first wolf's mate. Oh, boy. Yeah, the bears are scary for that reason. I'm more scared, I'm less scared of them taking pups than I am of them killing the mates, because they are very good at doing that, and it's kind of terrifying. Alright, let's see. We haven't lost pups in this stream, no, thankfully. Hey, thank you for the resub! I don't think Ezra's not lost a pup yet. I don't think. I'm pretty sure we started with 4. Yeah, we were talking about pups getting lost, because some of ours just sprinted into the unknown. Yeah, he's always had 4. So far, so good, but we got 7 more pounds to go. So, we're about halfway through the litter. Still 4. Ghost and Haze did indeed make a break for it. Alright, where... Oh, the scent post was right over here. What do you mean the scent post is over here? You lied to me. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I went into the... There's another hex that's down this way. First, already turning into chaos woofers like their parents. Yeah, no kidding. They really are. Where's the scent post? It's here now. If pups from anyone's litter are gonna wander into the unknown as Ezra and Vixie's. Yep, absolutely. Ghost and Haze are troublemakers. They certainly do seem to be. That is very fair. Also, we will probably wrap up when Ezra gets back from marking territory, because it is getting to be about that time. Yep, definitely. Alright, 2 more hexes here, so not too much more. Alright, scent post here. We can just mark this one where it is. We already get that one middle hex. I think we did. We did. Alright, right over here. And I hope that I don't come back to find the pups disappearing again. Honestly, like, all of the pups are just taking turns being troublemakers, though, because earlier it was Journey living up to his name and just disappearing into the unknown. Alright, here's this one. Imagine there's an option to pair up two wolves in a carousel as mates. Imagine the chaos that can come from a Vixie pup and an Ezra pup. That's the reason why you can't. It would be too powerful. They had to calm the chaos somehow. That's why they can't allow this. Oh my goodness. It would be neat to, like, I don't know, it'd be purely aesthetic thing, so I don't know if they'd ever add it, but to see what the results of certain pairings would be, though. Like, to just get hypothetical puppies by matching up two wolves or two mates or something, and just to see what the options would be pretty interesting. Oh, I hope your computer is fixed soon. That's kind of a bummer. I know how that is. There's time, like, back in 2019 when both of my computers died simultaneously. It was not good. I had 7 hard drives die in the span of 1 month, and even the tech support people had never seen anything like it. It wasn't like there was one problem killing them either. It was just a string of different problems all at once in 2 different machines, so it wasn't like something was wrong with one of them that was burning out the drives. There was one that came broken from starting out. It was a dud drive. It was just a whole mess and a half, and I still don't really understand how it happened the way that it did. You find an NPC NPCify one of your wolves to start paired up. That would be cool. I know one thing that's been much requested is the idea of having, like, 2 siblings dispersed together, which would be really fun, but I think technically challenging, so I understand why it's not an option. It would be really neat, though, to be able to start out with a sibling and then branch off once you start courting. It's okay. Most of those hard drives, well, I think I got okay, I guess I did have to pay for some of them, but the one that was a dud, I think they replaced for free. But yeah, no, yeah, a bunch of older drives from my older computers just decided they no longer wanted to exist. Ghost has the clown shoe. Clown shoe for clown puppy. All right. Thankfully that hasn't happened to that degree lately, but yeah, my whole other computer did decide to just beef itself the night before I left for Wisconsin. So that was fun. I'm glad this new one is a little bit more powerful and easier to work with, but rip, yeah, at some point I'll have to see if I can get the other one fixed, though, because it'd be neat to still try and use it for something, but I probably would have to upgrade it anyway, because they don't support Windows 8 anymore, and as much as, you know, I really liked Windows 7 and I finally got used to Windows 8, and now they don't let you use it anymore. But anyway, I think we're gonna go ahead and leave this off here because it is getting to be about that time again. Let me just catch up on comments here. You'd love if later when the song's out there might be an option to continue as your mate or select a grown pup to continue as the pack heir if your wolf dies. That would be cool, because then you could continue with the pack without losing your territory. Yeah, that would be a neat option. I don't know if we'll get anything like that, but it would be cool. Yeah, I don't think they charged me. Well, I think they probably were able to send back the dud drive and get a better one anyway. But yeah, that was not a fun time. I'm glad that hasn't happened since. We'll go ahead and leave this off here for today because it is getting to be about that time again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and to drop a follow on twitch.tv/jzx535 so that you can see when we are next going live. Right now that has been on Wednesdays from 4 to 5 p.m. Central Time. Oh, heck off. No, heck off. Nope, I am not doing this. Do we have... Alright, how many pups went in the den? None. None. Okay. Hold on. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Oh dear. I am looking for the shadow. Did we get one in the den? Hayes went in the den. Alright, please go back. How much stamina do I have? Okay, good. Aight! Hated that. Bye, y'all.